The observation deck of the Kravith hummed with the low vibration of failing life support systems. Myra Valen pressed her palm against the frost-creeping viewport, watching the debris field that had once been their escort fleet tumble through the void like broken toys. 17 hours, she whispered to no one in particular. Behind her, the Torvin cubs huddled together in the corner, their gray-furred bodies trembling despite their people's legendary resilience to cold. There were 12 of them, orphaned when the pirate attack had torn through the diplomatic convoy. Their caretakers were dead, their elders were dead, and now their oxygen recyclers were dying too. Myra turned from the viewport, studying the cubs with a medic's practiced eye. The smallest one cub, Harrick, according to the identification chip she'd scanned, had stopped shivering. That was a bad sign. Hypothermia was setting in faster than she'd calculated. "Hey," she called softly, crossing the deck in 3 long strides. The cub's vertical pupils contracted as they tracked her movement, ancient predator instincts warring with their youth. "Harrick, right?" The cub's ears flattened against his skull, but he nodded. His breath came in shallow puffs of vapor. Myra knelt before them, making herself small, non-threatening. "Listen to me, all of you. We have a problem, but I have a solution. It's going to seem strange, but I need you to trust me." The eldest cub, perhaps 8 standard years old, hissed softly. "Humans always have solutions. Solutions that benefit humans." "Fair point," Myra conceded, pulling the thermal blade from her belt. The cubs flinched backward. "But right now, I'm the only human here, and if I wanted to hurt you, I wouldn't need a blade." She placed the weapon on the deck between them and pushed it away. Then, with deliberate slowness, she rolled up her sleeve. "Your species has a saying, doesn't it? Blood knows blood, and truth lives in the vein." Myra had studied Torvin culture during her xenonthropology training. She knew their customs, their codes. "Among your people, to share blood is to share clan." The eldest cub's eyes widened. "You cannot mean—" "I do." Myra retrieved the blade and ignited it, the edge glowing blue-white in the dim emergency lighting. "Your bodies are shutting down because you're scared and alone and cold. But human blood runs hot, hotter than yours. If I give you a transfusion, my blood will warm you from the inside. Buy us time until rescue arrives." "That's impossible," another cub protested. "Our biology is incompatible with—" "With most species, yes," Myra interrupted. "But not with humans. We're universal donors. Our blood is stubborn, aggressive, adaptable. It's kept us alive on 1,000 hostile worlds." She met each pair of eyes in turn. "It can keep you alive, too." Harrick pushed himself forward on trembling limbs. "Will it hurt you?" The question surprised her. She'd expected fear, suspicion, even refusal. Not concern. "I'll manage," she said simply. "But I need to start now. Harrick, you first." "You're the smallest." The cub crawled forward and extended his small arm. Myra worked quickly, accessing the medical supplies from the emergency locker. The transfusion kit was designed for human-to-human transfers, but she'd modify it. She'd have to. The blade made a clean incision along her inner arm. Dark red blood welled up, and she caught it in a sterile collection pouch. The cubs watched in absolute silence as she filled one pouch, then another, her face growing pale but her hands remaining steady. "Your turn," she told Harrick, swabbing his arm with antiseptic. The needle went in smoothly. Human blood began flowing into Torvin veins. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Harrick gasped, his eyes going wide. "It burns! He stopped, wonder replacing fear. "It's warm, like standing in sunlight." The other cubs pressed closer, their fear evaporating. One by one, Myra gave them each a portion of her blood, carefully calculated doses that wouldn't overwhelm their smaller bodies. Her vision blurred at the edges, but she pushed through, driven by a stubborn human refusal to let children die on her watch. When the last cub received their transfusion, Myra collapsed against the bulkhead, her arm hastily bandaged. The cubs were already looking better, their shivering stopped, their breathing deeper and more regular. Harrick approached her, moving with newfound energy. He stared at her pale face for a long moment, then did something unexpected. He pressed his small clawed hand against her blood-soaked bandage, then drew 2 lines across his own face with her blood. "What are you doing?" Myra asked weakly. "Marking myself," Harrick said. "In my clan, we mark our faces with the blood of those who save us. It is our way." The other cubs came forward, each one touching her bandage and marking their own faces with crimson streaks. War paint made of compassion. Scars made of gratitude. You shared your warmth when you could have hoarded it, the eldest cub said, his voice thick with emotion. You weakened yourself to strengthen us. This is not the human way we were taught to expect. Myra laughed, the sound brittle and tired. Then maybe you were taught wrong. We're not all traitors and soldiers. Some of us are just stubborn. Too stubborn to watch cubs freeze when we can do something about it. Harrick curled up against her side, his warm body warmed by her own blood pressed close. The other cubs followed, creating a living blanket around her. Rescue will come, she murmured, her eyes drifting closed. Just have to last a little longer. We will last, Harrick promised, his small hand finding hers. Your blood runs in us now. We are warm, we are strong. We are human-touched. Through the viewport, the first lights of the rescue fleet began to pierce the darkness. They would survive. All of them. And when the Torvin elders later asked why their cubs bore blood marks on their faces, why they refused to wash away the crimson streaks, the cubs would tell the story of the human who gave her warmth when the void was cold, who offered her blood when they had nothing left. They would tell the galaxy what humanity truly meant, not conquest. Not commerce. Solidarity. Retry.